Join me as I dive into the heated debate about immigration in Canada and challenge myself to uncover the real impact immigrants are having. Are they really bringing problems or solutions? When it comes to the topic of immigration in Canada, there's no shortage of strong opinions. You've likely heard the sentiments expressed by some that immigrants are bringing more problems and violence than solutions to our country. While this perspective might be divisive, it's essential to examine the issues and separate fact from fiction. In a country renowned for its mosaic culture and openness to newcomers, it's crucial we acknowledge the concerns surrounding immigration. Are we truly benefiting from the influx of new Canadians, or are there unintended consequences that need to be addressed? The notion that immigrants might be causing more harm than good is a complex and multifaceted issue that warrants closer inspection. I mean, come on, just over the weekend, Indians and Sikhs were brawling in the streets, fighting each other like a bunch of male betta fish put into one small fish tank. They're bringing their third world violence and problems that they immigrated away from into Canada. That's not assimilating and embracing Canadian values. That's complete disrespect and a kick in the teeth to the very country they should be thankful to be in. But instead, they abuse the system and the Canadians who are sick of their ungrateful demeanor. I don't care what war or religious clashing you did back in your home country. When you came to Canada and we accepted you into this country, you were supposed to leave all of that violence behind you. And when you came to Canada, you are also expected to uphold Canadian values and laws. If you don't like those terms or you won't abide by them, then you can turn around and go back to where you came from, or find another country that will put up with ungrateful tyrants like yourselves. There are those who assimilate into Canada, and then you have those who shoot off fireworks at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's right. Indians were celebrating Diwali by setting off fireworks at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., waking up entire neighborhoods. They were flooding the streets and disrupting the public, waking up people who had to get up in the morning and go to their jobs to help support more immigrants with their tax dollars. They most likely did not have any permits for the gathering or the fireworks. Were there any arrests made? Not likely. But I'm betting that if it were any other group of people, the cops would have been swarming the place and shutting it down right away. Canada's immigration policies have undergone significant changes over the years, shaping the country's demographic makeup and economic landscape. To understand the current situation, it's essential to look back at the historical context. In the 1960s and 1970s, Canada's immigration policies began to shift, welcoming more immigrants from non-European countries. This transformation was driven by a need for economic growth and a desire to increase diversity, all on a point-based system, in other words, vetted. In recent years, Canada has continued to open its doors to an increasing number of immigrants, mostly Indians and Muslims, with many arriving through various programs such as the Express Entry system. This has led to a significant influx of new permanent residents, with many settling in urban centers like Toronto and Vancouver. Fast forward to the present day, and we see a Canada that's more culturally diverse than ever before. But with this change, there are concerns about the economic and social implications of large-scale immigration. We are seeing protesters disrupting Canadians who are just trying to get by day, but these Palestine protesters don't care. They just want attention. They want to ruin your day because they're taking advantage of Canada's freedom of expression laws. And with the policing being tethered with the DEI bullcrap, they can't do a thing to stop these tyrants. Death to Canada, they scream while waving their Palestine flags in Canada. It's sickening to see Canada in this state of decline. Canada has fallen. One of the primary challenges associated with immigration is its impact on the Canadian economy. On the one hand, newcomers were supposed to bring new skills, education, and experiences that could stimulate economic growth, but as Canadians have noticed lately, that's not the case. On the other hand, they also increase competition for jobs, which can lead to higher levels of unemployment among native-born Canadians. Another pressing concern is the issue of cultural integration. As Canada becomes increasingly diverse, there are growing pains associated with integrating newcomers into Canadian society. This can manifest in different ways, such as linguistic barriers, cultural differences, and social integration challenges. Just walk into any Tim Hortons in Canada and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll also see all of those so-called new skills these newcomers were supposed to be bringing into Canada with them, and lately the Indians and Sikhs getting into violent fights in the streets of Ontario. Furthermore, the strain on public services is another area of concern. As the population grows, there are already increased demands on healthcare, education, social services, and housing. This has already put pressure on the existing infrastructure, leading to concerns about the ability of these services to keep up with the growing population. Research has shown that the economic benefits of immigration are not equally distributed. While high-skilled immigrants could generate significant economic benefits, if, in fact, those were the immigrants we're granting into Canada, those in lower-skilled occupations might struggle to make ends meet, relying on government assistance programs funded by Canadian tax dollars. A recent study by the Fraser Institute found that the average cost of resettling just one single refugee in Canada is over $27,000. When you consider the large number of refugees and immigrants arriving in Canada each year, the total cost becomes absolutely mind-boggling. To make matters worse, there have been instances of fraud and abuse within the immigration system where individuals take advantage of loopholes to gain residency or citizenship. Yep, you probably guessed it. Foreign students who think that since they're studying here in Canada, they get free Canadian citizenship and are allowed to stay here when their studies are finished. Oh, by the way, all on our Canadian tax dollars. In conclusion, the question of whether immigrants are bringing problems or solutions to Canada is a simple one. Just open your eyes and have a look around. While there are valid concerns surrounding immigration, it's essential to approach this discussion with nuance, balance, and open eyes. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. If you like what you just saw, click that like button, and while you're at it, please consider subscribing to the channel.